Well, I think it goes without saying I'm disappointed. I think, I strongly disagree with today's ruling, but we'll take it one step at a time.
Any comments the judge was saying she kind of doubted your credibility or some inconsistencies? Any comments on that?
Well, I think a lot of people know me. I think we had a lot of witnesses come forward that backed up what I had to say and how the campaign worked. The judge never took any of that into account, which is unfortunate. But ultimately, as I said, I had hoped that after today this would all be behind me. It's not, but that's okay. We'll fight another day.
What happens to your House of Commons seat now?
I'm sorry.
What happens to your House of Commons seat now?
I intend to still occupy it. I've got a mandate from the people of the city of Peterborough. I received more votes than anyone in the history of the riding, and I believe that's because I work hard and fight hard on behalf of the people of my constituency, and I'll continue to do that.
But the Canada Elections Act says that you can't sit in your seat for 5 years or run for office. What does that mean right now?
Well, I suppose that would be upon conviction, but this is obviously not a final decision from Her Honour today. And as I said, we'll take one step at a time. I've always maintained, and I maintain ardently, that I have in no way broken any of the laws governing elections.
Does that mean you're going to appeal?
I guess that means that we're going to take a look at the judge's decision. We got through the next date, and then there's another date that follows that, about 30 days after that. But I would suggest that we're going to take a very hard look at this ruling, and we'll come up with a plan going forward.
Why is it some of those key witnesses weren't called, who the judge had mentioned?
Well, look, I wasn't privy to the agreement that was made between attorneys on the one witness, but there was an agreement. We didn't believe calling my brother would have significantly benefited my credibility one way or the other. I think most people would expect that my brother would come in and back me up, not just because what he would have said would have been true, by the way, but because he's my brother. And thirdly, I don't know that we looked at whether we would call the third witness, but he is a sitting federal court judge, and we thought that would be inappropriate.
What is the message you have to your constituents, to the people who've supported you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank, I have to start by acknowledging my wife to begin with, we're due to have a baby. Our actual due date is tomorrow, so we're very excited about that. But she's been a pillar of strength for me throughout this, my family, my brothers, my mother, and then so many friends and supporters and people who've stood behind me. Legions of people who've sent me notes telling me that they're praying for me. I can't tell you how much that means to me and how much it has supported us through this very difficult process. And how much it will mean to me moving forward. So I appreciate it a great deal.
What do you think it means that the judge said basically that your testimony was not credible?
Well, ultimately I know what the truth is. So, that's her opinion. My opinion is quite different. And it's not that I respect the judge, but at the same time, I know the truth, and that decision doesn't change that.
You would hope that this would clear your reputation. You've had a hard time with it. In the House of Commons, you got quite emotional about a year and a half ago about I think you called it a smear on your reputation. How do you feel today now that the judge has found that you're guilty of what you were accused of?
Well, I got upset when I started talking about my wife, if you'll recall, and it's because this doesn't impact on one person, right? It impacts on all the people that I care about, all the people that I love. I got into politics for all the right reasons. I believed that I could fight for my community, make my community better, that I could stand up for those who've been marginalized in society, to stand up for justice and in support of families, and because I believed that Canada could simply be better. I fought for those things from the day that I was elected. The impact on me, I understand. Politics, especially federal politics, is a rough game, and you have to be able to suck it up. What some people may not appreciate is the impact it can have on families. So I feel badly that my mother, my brothers, and especially my wife have had to go through this with me. There's been nothing I can do to protect them from it, and that you can get emotional about that. I can protect myself, but I can't protect everyone around me sometimes, and that's hard.
Do you intend to seek a Conservative nomination in the next election?
I'm not even considering that right now.
Your cousin's having his first appearance in court today too. What do you make of that?
Well, it has nothing to do with me. He's made statements on the record on that. It's got nothing to do with me.
Well, the opposition MPs would say that you didn't win the election fairly because you had those donations from your cousin that are under suspicion right now. And then this judge's ruling today found that you spent too much on your campaign. So what would you say to that?
I'd say, first of all, that that's not true. And secondly, that in the last 2 elections, I've received overwhelming support from the people of Peterborough. I think if you speak to the people of Peterborough and those that specifically supported me, they did so because I fought hard on their behalf. That's why people have voted for me. That's why people came out and supported me in large numbers. And I've always appreciated that, and I've always worked hard to make sure that each and every day I'm earning their trust. Thanks very much.